Hello viewers, today we're going to be chipping away at the storage and reorganization project again. The bulk of that project, taking up the day-to-day operations, has been completed. The other side of the building is in pretty good shape now. We completely overhauled the studio, got new displays set up over there, and it's very functional, very clean and organized, and I'm very happy with the way that came out. This side of the building is a complete disaster still. I did kind of redo the Christmas storage area. I didn't do that on video. I just kind of did that as I was putting the Christmas stuff away. So that accounts for about 2/3 of the storage area on this side of the building. So actually, I guess we're a little bit further along over here than I am giving myself credit for. It looks bad right now because of all these pedestal fans. At this point, this project is just going to be something I chip away at for a couple of videos every month, maybe a few a week, depending on what I have time for. The big thing was to get the studio functional again, which we did, and that's very good. So tonight, we're going to look at pedestal fans. What I'd like to do, and this is going to create problems as it solves problems, is we're going to put two shelves on this wall over here. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the fan portion of the pedestal fans off and put them on the shelves horizontally. And I think we'll be able to get two fan heads per row of the shelf. And then once the heads are detached from the stands actually become fairly compact and can be all put together back over there on the floor without taking up too much space. Pedestal fans are very challenging to store because it's hard to get a good balance between storage efficiency and ease of access. But it's critical to do so because if they're not easy to access, I'm not going to use them very often, and that is counterintuitive to owning them in the first place. So that's what I'm going to try. It may or may not work, I don't know. I haven't really executed this at all yet. I did try one method of pedestal fan storage on the other side of the building. It's okay. The ease of access isn't great. It's pretty high efficiency, but it's a little difficult to get the stuff, and I'm not super happy with it. So I'm hoping that this will be better. If it is, then we can convert that other area to the same storage method. If it's not, then we'll just scrap the idea and undo it, put it back to the way it is now. But I really don't think it can possibly get worse than the way it is now. So as far as problems to create, there's a couple fans on that wall that are going to have to get removed. That Hampton Bay St. Clair and polished brass is going to have to move. That Lakewood window fan is going to have to move. That Dayton window fan is going to have to move. And those Marvin window fans are going to have to move. There's a Sears window fan to the right of those two, which is probably also going to have to move. And those are massive, bulky fans. I have no idea where we're going to put those as an alternative to that wall. But I'd rather have two large window fans kicking around the floor than 15 pedestal fans. It's easier to deal with the two window fans. So as far as shelving goes, I have a bunch of shelves left over here. I'm hoping that I have, let's see, more than enough to do this. This looks like, I think this is the wider piece. I don't really want this wider piece. I want the more narrow one. So here's a piece of the shelving. Let's see in concept here, in theory, how much space will this give us to work with? Can we put two pedestal fans on this shelf? We'll grab a stupid Holmes one. Yeah, that takes up about half. Let's try this one as well. just became disconnected. Okay. That generally works. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it works. So we're going to try this and see where we go. Now we're going to have to label everything as we go. We'll have to label all these pedestals. Make sure we don't lose track of which fan they go to. And I guess we'll just go over to the other side for a minute because I gotta dig out all the shelving pieces. I gotta do some of these doors. Alright, so the shelves. Yeah, nice this is over here now. This is great. The extra shelves I just put under here for now. Now that I think is the more narrow of the two. Is it? I can't tell. I gotta go get the other piece. There's there's a mix of two different kinds of shelves kicking around here. I think one is 30-inch and one's 36. This one looks bigger to me. I think this one is the 36. And that matters. That's a 30-inch one's not going to be long enough. Yep, not good. We're going to find more of the 36. Otherwise, this is going to get a 0. Alright, there's a 36. It's kind of busted on the end closer to the camera, but we'll use it anyways because this is not a heavyweight application. There's another 36. Here's another 36. Here's another 36. Here's a 36. We can probably be able to fit, I don't know, 5 or 6 shelves perhaps per stack. So we got, that should be enough for at least one unit. I'm just curious if I have enough for 2 units here. Yeah, I've got a fair bit. I don't want to store these under here long term because they're on the floor, which is moisture and bugs zone. So nothing good is going to come out of these sitting on the floor. Ouch. So most likely, whichever ones I don't end up using for here or out in the garage, I will probably give to Ed so that Ed can use them to store all the mangled very good condition box fans that he has on these shelves. So we've got, that should be enough for both units. Now there's also 2 heights of legs. I'm hoping that we have the longer ones under here. Okay, there's a set of longer ones. And there's tops and bottoms. This is top. This is the top. This is a bottom. That's a top. This is a top. That's one complete set of tops. Here's the bottom. Try not to totally wreck the place here. Okay, that's one complete set of top and bottom arms. Oh dear, I thought there was a lot more than that under here. It's really only... Well, how the heck is that possible? There's like 2.5. That's odd. Alright, well... Jeez, I hope I have some left over for Indicus and Ed. I think I have some more in the attic. Well, okay, so I got the 2 that we can use for this project. Now, yeah, how the heck we end up with 2? This doesn't make any sense. We have 2 shelves and 4 upper arms. These aren't even the bottom ones. These are upper arms. I don't get that at all. Whatever. So now we got to get the... I have to get those pieces out that... I don't know how you call those little plastic things that you put to hold the shelves. I don't know what those are called. This was the door from the media room. I just took it off because it was annoying and it was always in the way. Never closed it, probably never will. And we just didn't need it there. It's wasting space in the room. And that door is a solid core door. That's a good quality door. We'll use that someday. When I replace all the ugly white doors. But that is a very expensive project, so that's a ways off. Okay, I think that tape is not very sticky, which defeats the purpose of tape. I think that the stuff I'm looking for is right here. Yep, this is it. This is what I'm looking for. See, everything is accessible and organized now. Massive improvement from the way that it was before, which was terrible. These doors were over here before, but they weren't in the walkway. I don't know where the heck I had them. I had to revisit that now. Took them up because I had to shut off the water for something. And I don't remember where I put them. Okay, so now we've got all the pieces that we need. There is some blank wall space over there, and I'm thinking that we're going to try to put some of the Marvin window fans in between enough spaces there. You have this space here and this space here, which I think is where the Marvin window fans will go. As far as those massive window fans are concerned, we could change some things around in here, and we could make better use of this wall. I have those 2 box fans there just because I like them, but they can very easily store on a shelf efficiently, whereas those window fans cannot. So it might make sense to move those window fans to where those box fans are. That's why this one is here, because it stores nicely there, whereas it doesn't really fit. Although actually that one is fairly thin. That might fit onto a shelf, but it's much bigger than a box fan, so it would still be a waste vertically by quite a few inches if that was to go on a shelf. So I think that we'll just keep storing that like that. Alright, so let's go back to the other side. I'm going to turn these lights off because they're just spinning the meter. And let's see what we've got over here. So I'm going to have to temporarily take some of that stuff out so I can make room for the shelves. I don't really have a good place to put it yet because I don't have a solution to this yet. Okay, I got the camera plugged back in. I still can't believe that all these years I've been filming with this camera, and I did not realize that you can just plug it in and not go through the battery anymore. Oh well, there's always learning experiences to be had. I think for now I will put that window fan over here, because I don't really walk over here that frequently. Unless something breaks, then I come over here, but it'll be fairly out of the way over there. This probably should come down first. Even though they're largely plastic, those window fans are extremely heavy because it's got a stinking, I think it's a 1/4 horse motor in those things. It's no joke. Those are probably one of, if not the most powerful 20-inch window fans available. Actually, this is not as heavy as I remembered it. It's still pretty heavy though. I want to use these this year. This one is not nostalgic, but the Sears branded one, this one's actually branded 3 different brands. The Sears branded one is very nostalgic to me. That was my uncle's fan. Okay. That is safely out of the way. Those are, they're pretty rare. They're not extinct yet, but they're known to have issue with the blades breaking, so they're getting harder to find. So, not good. Now I have a bunch of heaters here, which I just don't really have a use case for anymore, because we don't have anywhere in the house where we use portable heat, other than the bathroom on occasion. It's nasty down here over here. So one of the reasons why I don't want to have stuff on the floor is that it's hard to clean the floor. If I have shelves, I can just stick the vacuum hose under there and clean it easy. This not. So we'll do some cleanup as we go. bring down the vacuum now. We'll get this cleaned up. It's bug season. All bugs are gonna start trying to come in the house again. So we gotta get everything cleaned up. Stop it as it happens. Ow! Ow, that really hurt my toe. I'm going to turn this boiler off temporarily. Unfortunately, and I'm not really sure when or how this happened, but we had an incident with this fan leg. It was sitting there. That fan was in that position over there for years. It was never a problem. And one day I come down here and the leg is all busted up. I don't understand what happened with that. Why that leg is busted up like that. You know, these legs are hard to find, and this one has the foot on it, so it's going to be out of balance now. I might try to rebuild this someday when I retire and just have hours and hours of time to burn. So we'll keep that for some psychotic reason, and maybe in 50 years from now we'll take a look at it. Alright, let's clean this up. You know, all things considered, it's not that bad. It's really just a couple of cobwebs. There's a couple screws here. I'm just going to ignore those for now. I'm not going to impact this significantly. Yeah, it's bound to cause some kind of freak show. Okay. Oh, I forgot about the dehumidifier buckets. I have a lot of dehumidifier buckets over here, and some of those are made out of brittle plastic. They're kind of delicate. Some aren't, but some are, so we gotta figure out where to store those. There's some hardware here which should go out into the garage and get sorted out so that it can be useful again somewhere else, because it's not going to be useful kicking around over here in unknown condition. Here's a cool vintage door lock. Let's just look at it, or don't. I don't care. I don't know what the heck it's called. Should have had dinner before this. All right, I've cleared out enough space here such that I can now put up a shelf. I'm going to do a little more vacuuming here. Okay. All right, this should be good enough to start building the shelf now. So this is going to take us how far over? About to there, and that's going to go about to there. So we will have to move that other Sears window fan if we get that far today. I'm glad we're able to reuse these shelves. These were a fairly sizable investment at the time when I bought these initial ones. And I didn't like that they were going out of service, but now they're back in service. So they're not going to waste. Here so we can see how out of whack the floor is in this part of the building. I don't think it's too bad over here. It's not great, but it's not the worst I've seen. Now, for some reason, we have quite a few different types of, or different sizes of these, whatever these things are called. And it doesn't really matter, from what I can tell, which ones you use, as long as all 8 of them are the same per rack. That one's different. Okay, here's 8 of them. Oh, here's 8 of them that are the same. So probably going to unscrew the front ones a little bit to try to level it out because the floor is tilting towards the stairwell in this particular portion of this building. All right, something. Oh, this is upside down. That's a problem. One of these was not like the other, and that's because it was upside down. Oh, rats. It just came out of alignment. I don't usually have an issue assembling these. Why is it doing this? I've never had a problem putting these together. That was strange. Nah, something is wrong here. Why is this not... Is it too low? No. Alright, what's... This is the first time I've ever had something wrong with these. It's not, it's like not locking into place properly. It sure seems like it is, though. And I locked into place just fine that time. And that was fine that time as well. I don't know what that was about. A little strange. Well, there's always some kind of problem. That's just the way it is around here. Something is different. These two are not the same. Something's wonky here with this. It doesn't matter because we have to adjust the height anyways, but something's off kilter about this. Hopefully this doesn't become a problem later on. If I screw both of these in right now, they're pretty much the same. So why does it change? I don't know what's going on here with this. Something's up with it. Now there are different variations of shelves here. Some of these are rolling models, some are stationary models, some are 36, some are 30, but I really would have thought they'd be all the same OEM regardless of that. And that the basic parts should be somewhat interchangeable at least, if not fully interchangeable. So I don't know why we're having these problems. Alright, can you see this? Or do I have to get a extension and move this around? It's not a great view. I think that I should get an extension and move this around. I'll use this cord that I have here for the dishwasher, which we never really wash dishes in unless there's some serious overflow from upstairs. Let's see if we can put this, maybe right here is better. The lighting is not great here. The lighting is not great. But that's just the way it is. I can't really see much better myself in this area. Our busted up halogen capsule is still going. That's put in quite a few hours since I installed that. All right, let's see how out of whack this is. This telephone might have to be moved over a little bit, or I can just push the whole shelf over. I don't know, we'll see. I kind of like having that telephone there. Okay, we're gonna go with that there. See, something is busted up with this leg because this should not be disconnecting like that. It's solid, but it just doesn't seem right. Alright, that's pretty good with the levelness. I don't really care about the side to side. Nothing too heavy gonna be on here. Alright. I guess it would make sense to move this over enough till we can keep the telephone. Alright, I'm gonna go get some paper so that we can put labels to these units. And then I had a roll of wire tie that was very convenient for situations like this, and it broke, and it turned into a just complete and total freak show. So don't have that in a practical form factor anymore. I have it in a wad of freak show, and we're going to have to use it as a wad of a freak show, even though that's not ideal because I don't want to buy a new one. So let me go into the garage and get that freak show. It's freezing out here. There is a This used to be on a nice spool with a cutter and everything. It was real easy to work with, but now it's just in a wad because the spool did not unspool properly in the slightest, and it just turned into a Alright, we've got some scissors here to cut this with, and clear off this table so that we have some more space to work. And we're ready to begin. So we're going to start with some homes because the motors are a little bit shorter on these, so they should go together. We'll begin with this one. So this one, the wire is already tied up, so that's fine. This is the Holmes HASF 1506. So I'm going to come over here and get a piece of paper, and we're going to type Holmes HASF, and the model number is already gone. What was the model number? Model number 1506. 1506. And I'll put a hole in this piece of paper, and then we'll use this freak show of a wire tie thing here, what remains of it, to connect this to the pedestal. Yep, this is taking a long time. That's the way things are over here. Everything takes a long time. Okay, so now this pedestal is labeled, and we can take this fin. This one's actually in pretty good condition. The blade don't seem to be that warped. And we can put this like that. And we'll get a second one, which we do have on the Worcester style stand. This one's in decent condition too. These blades are unfortunately starting to warp. A lot of these ones I have are warped pretty bad. This one's not too bad. Okay, so we'll tie up the cord here. Whoa. I'd rather tie it up to be a circular like this. I think that's better. Okay, and this is an HASF 1701. Now we'll attach the label to the pedestal. Ooh, a tower fan. This is part of the fall decorations. It doesn't belong over here. Okay, so now let's come back over here and see where we need to put the next row of whatever these things are called. I gotta pick out an additional 8 more that are the same and make sure that all of these are like the other. Two, four, six. That one is not like the others. 7. That one is not like the others either. That one is. Okay. So the question becomes, where does this shelf need to go? I'm going to say that it should go right here. And if we didn't need to move it, we'll move it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Three, 4, 5. Okay, let's see how this is going to work. Well, it's not going to work at all if I can't remember where I put the other shelf. Here it is. Sitting in plain sight. That's nice. Okay, so that's a very close call in terms of the height of this. Let's see if we can get these out. I'll keep it, but I don't know. This is probably too low. Yeah, this is too low. We gotta go up one more notch. Okay. All right, that works like that. That's good. All right, now we'll get two more fans. Try to get ones with motors that are of similar size. This way we're not wasting space. So it's going to be these two here. These are actually very similar. I believe that they shared the same OEM. No, this one is missing the plug. Oh well, don't need that. Okay. This is another Holmes. What? How the heck is that the case? The model number is the same as this other one. This other one is the 1701, and this one is the 1705. It's not the same model number. It's very important that this be accurate, otherwise it's going to be difficult to repair these things with the pedestals. Now see, this one is much thicker than those other two, so this is going to take up a lot more space. Going to need a taller shelf. That's why I want to try to get ones that are very similar in depth. You know, like it would have been a waste to put that one with one of those two on the bottom because you waste several inches. And yes, that matters. Jeez, this one is filthy. This one is dirtier than a skunk. And I'm going to have to leave the nut on there because it's not coming off. I don't think that that's supposed to be like that, but this is what it's dishing out, so we're going to go with it. This is a Eastern Electric. And I think that actually Ed had mentioned something about a pedestal fan like this. So I'll have to remember to show this one to him next time he comes over. This is the STF 16. You know what? I think this is going to work pretty good. I think this is going to be a good storage method. I'm liking this so far. It's not going to hold quite as many as I had hoped for. I think it's looking right now like we're going to get maybe, let's see, we might be able to get 12 fans per shelf, maybe 14. That's a cool sound. Might be able to get 14 per shelf. It's better than it was no matter what, but I was hoping we could get at least 16, but I think that was a little bit too ambitious. Okay, we're going to make sure that none of these are unlike the others. I don't know why we had that problem in the beginning. It seems to have gone away. Two, four, 6, 7, the 8. All right. So this is going to have to go. I think it can go. Probably gonna have to go here. Well, you know what I can do is I can check it, make it a little bit easier. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there. Okay, so we've already made it way more efficient than it was before because it was 4 pedestal fans just from here to here to there. So this is definitely going to be a massive improvement. All right, what's next? Now, notice how efficiently these will store. This is very simple, just to put all these together like this. It only takes up, maybe the space of 2 fans in total. While this fan have a lot of sawdust on it, I like this fan. I think we're going to do this one next, and that's a Windmere branded fan. Is this the one that I repaired? I think it is. Unfortunately, it's become very, very dirty again. Oh, you know what all that is? That's soot. I'll have to clean that off. Oh, I like this fan too. See, this is one of the problems with not being able to see all this stuff, is that you find all these things that you like that you forget was there, which is terrible. I like this one a lot. Wind mirror. Wind mirror is very nostalgic to me. Alright, these are of similar stature. So we'll put these together. Very nice fan. Whoa, the camera almost took out some of the wiring. Not good. Whoa. Okay, this is a wind mirror. KS-16X. I can't really reach that stand. Is there a snake in here? Okay, got it. Very close, but I just was barely able to reach it. I want to use all these fans this summer. I hope it's hot. Man, this is a mess. I'll get this cleaned up. Not to worry. Okay, this one, I think this is also a wind mirror. That it is. This is another wind mirror. It is the wind mirror SF-16H. This is very similar to the other one, I think. It was model 7 something 16 something as well. Tripod freak show. A freak show, always in the video. Just like Lamont always deals with. Always a freak show. A freak show always in the video. Alright, I think that we're gonna have to put the second part of the arms on now. Oh wow, this is going higher up than I thought it was going to. I think it can go in right below the joint of the two legs. Those two are not like each other. Neither are those. We're getting down to fewer of the same now. Some of them say up, and then some of them say top, and then some of them are completely different sizes. see which ones I find 8 of first. Looks like it's going to be these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eight. No farms, no food. Okay, that's good. There's a Lasco over here, and the it's kind of busted, so I'm not sure we're going to put that one on the shelf. Are these... Oh, I have 2 identical SMC units, so those could go together. I've got a vacuum here and the carpet's still filthy. Figure that one out. I gotta put this back in the box. I don't know what to do about these Vornado fans. Those are very difficult to store as well. Worth having, very good quality, but very bulky for sure. Depending on how this finishes, those might be good for the top. Those might make sense on the top row. This is pretty thin. Would that work alongside this one? Yeah, that's a pretty good match. I'm going to need 2, 4, 6, 2 more like this. Okay, there we go. There's a set. Do not separate. Oh, this has a screw keeping it together. I gotta get a screwdriver. Wow, this looks so much better over here already. I'm almost that I think that this is looking very, very promising so far. Very, very happy with this. This fan is a work non-essentials. Oh, that model number is ridiculous. HE, probably for home essentials or high efficiency, 0016 SW. Next we have a sticky Honeywell. Oh, this has got some goofy stand. How does this work? I don't know how this works offhand. I gotta figure this out. So this has some kind of wacky, plasticky. Whoa! Well, that wasn't great, but nothing we can do about that now. Is So this only controls up and down. I don't think it takes it off. It sure would be nice if it did, though. No, it's not going to come off. So we got to figure out how to detach the fan itself. Seriously? This is the way that it works? I don't think this thing was ever used. This is a good find. I like this pedestal fan too. It's pretty much in like new condition. It's a little sticky because it's honey, but not too bad. This is the HS 1620 pedestal fan. Very plasticky, but the plastic has not yellowed at all or become brittle yet, so it's still pretty strong. Wow, that wind is getting strong. Or that might have been some kind of plane, I don't know. It has been very windy today. Oh no, it's not working. It came out. The clip apparatus broke. Okay, we're gonna have to go over to the studio area to fix this. I think I can fix it on the fly. I actually just fixed this a couple days ago, and now we are fixing it again. You won't be able to see it on this camera because it doesn't focus up close enough, but what happens is for some reason that metal bar that holds this in place comes out, and so what we have to do is push it over like this. Well, this time it's not pushing over. There we go. And then push this back like that. And this should be working again. So now I can put this back onto the microphone thing here. Like this. Come on. Okay, this is fixed. Now this can go back onto the video camera like that. And this is a little bit loose. Tighten that up. And we're back in business here. Okay. Hopefully that does not happen again. I guess the floor is really that crooked over here that it just tipped the heck over. Oh well, we recovered. Nothing broke. Close though, that was close call. That's one of the reasons why I like these GoPro cameras. They're pretty tough. Tough camera. I'm going to say 2 down should be our next shelf. That looks a little bit too high. Yeah, that is much higher than necessary. We can go down at least 1 more, if not 2 more. I think we'll leave it there. Yeah, we'll leave it there. I don't know why this is not going down the same. Stupid. All right, definitely 2 more, and then so 2 more. So we'll get 12 per shelf. So 12 here, 12 there. That's 24 pedestal fans, which is about 20 more than is reasonable to have in one household. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 left. So we're actually going to be able to fill up 14, 16, 18, 22. Probably going to fill up almost both of these shelves with everything that's over here, which is fine, because that condenses, that'll clear this floor over here, and then the other area we can just set up another shelf over there. That's fine. Doesn't have to be all in the same place. I prefer it to be, but we can only be so particular. Okay, let's look for another pair that are of similar size. I guess I should start considering the ones in the back there as well. I think we'll probably just finish this shelf tonight, and then we'll move on. I gotta move on and make dinner and so forth. Let's see here. We have a Lakewood and not a Lakewood, a Lake Breeze and an SMC, and that are more or less the same. Those two gonna go together next. Those are over here. This is an SMC branded. This is an SF16. Piece of wire here I'm going to remove, as we can reuse that upstairs in the windows to hold box fans in place. Okay, and here's a Lake Breeze, which is identical, except for the fact that it's busted. We'll fix it, not to worry. I like to fix things. That's pretty much all I do every day, is fix things. The ossiculation is busted on this. I'm not sure why. I have not really preliminary investigated it yet. Okay, this is the Lake Breeze SG16B3, and it of course is B as in bah. Perfect. The motors are exactly the same height. Alright, I think that we'll have enough space to fit one more too. Alright, that's going to have to go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We should just barely clear it. So we're going to put the thing right here. That's 2 above. It's funny how these things jam all the time, but then when you want to jam, they won't get stuck. Unreal. Nothing beats trying to assemble those massive ones. That was ridiculous. A lot of these are not like the others. I didn't realize how much of this we were gonna go through. Glad I had these on hand. Six, 7, 8. Nope, that's not 8. That's different. 2, 4, 6, 8. Here we go. Let's make sure that height makes sense. Yes, it does. Nope, something's wrong here. That's 3 up. 2. 2 up. Well, probably could have gone down 1 more, but it would have been so close, it's not worth it. So that's the correct height. Okay, let's get 2 more, and then we'll wrap up for tonight. I think you might do 2 SMCs, because there's 2 SMCs over there. That would work. Unless are these similar? Actually, these are pretty similar. We can do these 2. Unless we don't unbury all the other stuff yet. Two, 4, 6, 8. This one's kind of goofy in terms of the disassembly process. Oh, I guess it just slides right off. This is another sticky Honeywell. I think it's missing part of the stand. Oh, it would have been sticky anyways. So this is electronic controls. And now that one I showed earlier is very similar to this one, but it's the manual controls, which is the one I like better. When I got this one, I said, geez, this is a pretty good fan, but I'd like it a lot better if it came in mechanical controls. And I didn't know if there was one in mechanical controls or not. But then the one in mechanical controls showed up at the thrift store a couple months later. So that worked out pretty good. This is the Honeywell. Do we have information on this anywhere? Oh dear. There's no information? The heck? Are you kidding me? There's no information. Well, what is the model numbers? Hello, what's the model number? I don't see any information. Okay, we're going to call the 2-button electronic controls. It'd be nice if there was a model numbers, but there's no model numbers. Oh well. Yes, it's asking for a little too much to have a identifying information on the product. I'm going to put this top shelf on now just to make sure it clears. It's going to be very close. And then we'll have to figure out what we should put on top of there. It's kind of a... I suppose we could probably put another row of pedestal fans, but the Vornados, if they could fit up there, that would be pretty good too. And I'll have to just move some of these ceiling fans, which is not a big deal, there's only a few there. I can't wait to use these big window fans again this year. I haven't used those since I've lived in this house because they don't fit in the dang windows, but I'm going to fix that problem this year. Okay, so we used one. How many did we use? We used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I might have one more of these somewhere. It's a pretty good fit. Okay, what's next? I thought I had something in mind. Okay. Did I have something in mind and I just forgot about it? That is always a possibility. Okay. Whatever. I don't think I'm going to put this one there, but I'm just curious how these fit on this shelf. Because these are 18 inches instead of 16. How far out are these going to come out? Oh yeah, that doesn't really work. Not so much from a standing out perspective, but it's just too wide widthways. So that's not going to work. But you know what would work is that 3-blade one that everybody hates. Those would probably fit just fine. Alright, let's try... How about this Woolworths one, which is in very good condition. This one's very thick. That will fit. So we'll put this one there as well. Okay, this is the W. FWS. '16. Open parentheses. HF dash S40X. This is unraveling surprisingly easily considering the mess that this was in. I'm glad this was salvageable. And we can definitely put one more row on top. But we're going to leave that for another session because time to take a break for making dinner. I don't think the Vornados would fit there because it's just not going to be tall enough, but I think another set of regular fans should fit. So this is great. This is coming out very, very nicely. It looks so much better. Oh shoot, this is stuck. Okay. This looks, ouch. Does not look painful, it looks great. This looks so much better than it did before, and this is much higher efficiency. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 14 pedestal fans for a, I don't know, 4 or 5 square foot footprint. 14 per shelf, which is a total of 28 capacity in total for the 2 shelves. And so let's see, how many we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So we'll actually fit all the ones that are here, all of these and all those up like this. Very nice. Major improvement again to the way this is. And this is all pretty easy access. The worst part about getting one of these out is going to be you're going to have a whole bunch of stands just kind of stacked up like this, and you'll have to go through and get the one you want. But even that's not a big deal. So it does create some problems because I have to find new places for that window fan, which is, those are both big units, that window fan down there, all the dehumidifier buckets, and 2, maybe 3 of the ceiling fans there. But those are problems I can solve. This is huge. This is going to clean up this area, get all this stuff off the floor, and make this a usable space again. And it'll look a lot better when we get done with this. So for those that were interested in pedestal fan storage, I think that this is going to be your best option.